What's up, everybody? I'm in the Philippines. It's your boy, Alvin Cailan. I keep coming back to the homeland. It's always amazing to spend time here and see all the exciting things happen. I'm known for my burgers, so I'm here to do a pop-up. I got to team up with Izakaya Geronimo, one of the hottest restaurants in BGC right now. And they're known to have some of the best Japanese food in the city and some really good beef. You always gotta season. Very important. So I've been a part of the Los Angeles food scene for about 13 years now. My first concept just celebrated its 13th anniversary, Eggslut, you might know that. But currently I've been the host of the burger show, and I have a burger restaurant called Amboy. So I'm here in Manila making burgers because that's what I'm known for. We're coming off a really exciting time in LA with Filipino American food. And I asked myself, what brings you to make Filipino food? I am Filipino, but I realized, have I really eaten Filipino food? And that's when it hit me. I wanted to explore more and reconnect with people back home. A lot of people don't know this. I started in fine dining. I come from a really composed, avant-garde cooking background, but something was missing. That heartfelt connection to the food I was making. We're actually at Asiong's in Silang, Cavite, and my parents actually used to frequent their former restaurant. So this is a very sentimental place. If you think of quintessential classic Filipino dishes, that's what I grew up eating. So that's what I grew up making. And then now, squid ink, now they're doing it with pancit, and it's like, why didn't I think of that? And this is a very important key. You have to get the sauce and put it on the rice. Like, you can't go to Cavite and not order machado. Like, you have to, this is like our thing, I think. So good. I grew up eating this style of Filipino food, but what we're gonna do is kind of a little bit different. This is what you're used to seeing, and I'm gonna take you on a journey of what you'll see now. Go, go, here we go. Go, go, now here we go now. Go, go, here we go. You ain't never ever seen nothing like this. So now that I'm back here in the Philippines, it's all about reconnecting with my culture and experiencing this revolution happening in the fine dining culinary scene here at home. So buckle up, we're gonna eat some really good stuff. The Philippines has very young chefs that have a lot to prove, and they have a lot to put on a plate. It's a culinary renaissance here in Manila. Toyo has been constantly voted as one of the best restaurants in Asia, and they keep pushing the envelope. Their team recently opened Inatô, and Chef JP Cruz is at the helm. They gracefully allowed us to come in before opening for the night, so that we could sneak in a few bites. Inatô. Inatô is our way.
Yeah, in Binasa, it roughly translates to our way. It can be used in a context when you invite someone in the house. Like, I'm not Bisaya, just so everyone knows. When you invite someone in the house, oh, Inatô lang ah. It's like, tayo
Yeah.
in Tagalog.
That's awesome. That's what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah. And I guess in this whole space, the word actually captures on what we really want to do here. So the way Filipino, our way, and the people that work here been with us for the longest time, can then be get to travel around the world. The things to see, the things to eat are an accumulation of all our experience.
I'm excited to try.
For this one, this is the yellow tail, and this is called tambis. This has been aged with tapay. Tapay is a mixture of rice and ugoy, which is also fermented, that we mix in sauce and somewhat cured and aged with black wine for a couple of hours. The vinegar that I'm using here is made of tapoy that we turned into vinegar, and we mixed in passion fruit and longan juice. This is a salt that we get from Buenavista. It's called asintudo.
What's the oil?
It's made of the leaves of the chili.
Nice.
So that's easy for the arola.
The fish is so smooth, buttery, almost like melts in your mouth. So good. Yeah, it's so fresh. So tell me why this style of dining.
In like would be a bit more intimate. It's like inviting someone inside your room rather than your home.
Right. Filipino fine dining, I feel like, is such a peek into someone's mind. But Filipino food usually is like more family style, right? This is so elite in a sense where you're literally making it and you're feeding me. And then the portions, they're perfect. They're not like overdone. I feel like being Filipino American, we almost overdo it in America. Like we all, like abundance is like a sign of, our accomplishment.
It's very personal for us. So in the sense that this is a reflection of what we like to eat.
Each detail in the restaurant speaks Filipino, just like the counter seating, which creates an immediate bond with the cooks. The concise a la carte menu that highlights their ihaw, or use of smoke. Not to mention all of the design elements. The wall is inspired by a banana peel, the floor has speckles of oyster in it, and the counter, a solid piece of stone, weighing a ton, anchoring you to your seat for the show that's about to come.
So this is our inihaw. This is the chicken oysters. Oh baby. Chicken wing. And then I'll send you the next after.
And this is, you said the oyster?
Yeah, so it's basically connected to the thigh.
I mean, people don't understand that. The Filipinos are a very big skewer
It is, yeah.
barbecue society, right?
Yeah, like a big inihaw culture. We take inspiration in that. We are proud to say that we love that style of cooking.
Oh, and then I love you for doing this.
That's chicken wing. You took out the bones. It's a lot of labor of love. That one is chicken ball. It's made of the thigh and the neck. The next one is isol. The seasoning of this one is the pure chicken.
I welcome the richness. It's so good, yeah. I love asking this question to all my fellow chefs is, if you were to choose 3 descriptive words of what defines your cuisine,
Yeah.
what is it?
And let me think about it. 3 descriptive words? Yeah. For sure, it's something that you can connect. Balance. Smart.
This is fun, but initial thought, you think that you would have something so stuffy. When I walked in here, I thought of like, dude, this is like the fine dining. And then when I ate the food, I was like, oh, this is so homey. Like I feel like it's so comforting, you know? And which is completely different in most regular fine dining places that I've been to around the world. This is more like from the heart. The idea behind Inatô and how it differs from Toyo. Toyo focused on Filipino ingredients and flavors, where Inatô has the same ethos in terms of approach and technique. However, they're using both local and international ingredients to make Filipino flavors and techniques shine.
So yeah, this one is swordfish. Yeah, we get this from Miyagi Prefecture in Japan. It's been lightly grilled with butter. The sauce is made of shrimp heads, like roasted shrimp heads with kanyas or bilimbi,
Yes.
green mango, and tomato.
How do you want me to eat this?
There's a lot happening. Steamed rice, and then this one is basically our take, or our way of making it. So it's inspired by how they make it in the north. This one is a vegetable stew. And this fried fish is called asukos that we get from Mindoro. You can eat it however you like it.
Fried fish is super Filipino.
Especially with the... I grew up eating fried fish in the pinakbet.
Yum. This pinakbet was mind-blowing. There's an old wives' tale that tells you to never mix the pinakbet when it's cooking, and they took it to the next level here. You could taste the layers and the hours it took to cook this dish. After eating these dishes, I feel like I know you more. Is that weird?
Oh, no. That's great.
I can peek through your head.
through the food, man.
And that's like just the thing about Filipino fine dining, right? It's like you get to understand the why. And for me, it's like you are like a creature of comfort. Like you could tell by the food that you serve. Everything was comforting. Everything wasn't like bravado. It was very like,
Thank you.
like a hug. It was a hug.
Thank you.
And that's so Filipino, man. Like, that was great.
Thank you.
We just finished at Inatô, which is always an inspiring meal. And now we're headed to another mind-blowing restaurant experience, Metiz, literally 20 steps away. I mean, proximity, baby. Metiz gets its name from French painter Matisse and the Spanish mestizo, referring to a person of mixed heritage. This mirrors Chef Stephan, who is half French and half Filipino, a vagabond traveler who returned home and is now showcasing his style of modern Filipino cuisine in his restaurant, Metiz. Here we are, Metiz. With Stephan, Chef, you are awesome for having us here. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you too for hanging out.
And the first time I ever ate here, it was like mind blowing. It was almost solidifying the fact that like Filipino fine dining is actual living and breathing. So let's get started.
Okay,
What do we have? Let's eat.
the ensaymada over here. Actually, funny enough, the recipe for this one comes from one of my head chef's grandmothers. So it's a very old style recipe. And then here we just decided to caramelize it. For contrast.
Easily just caramelize it. It doesn't look like it's easily done though.
We pan fried essentially, kind of like basting a steak essentially, but with like brown sugar and butter.
Oh, so
Yeah.
this is fried also?
It's fried in butter.
Oh, baby, look at all of that sounds amazing.
You can have it with the goat cheese from Malagos on the side. And then there's also, well, this is our little touch. We thought tapoy was kind of cool. So this is tapoy from Baguio, aged for 6 months and just reduced until syrupy. So all three of them, I think, create quite an interesting bite.
So I just gotta tack it.
Just tack it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this should stay on. I mean, I eat ensaymada more than I should. And I never ever eat ensaymada and go, man, I'm gonna class it up. Never in my mind. That's Filipino. Like this is an ensaymada, but on steroids. And it looks small, because like ensaymadas are big. But this has so much flavor.
Yeah, it's an intense bite.
This is definitely a dish I feel like should be in your like arsenal at all times at the ready. Like if someone very important like LeBron James or something would come here, like you should just be like, you know what? Eat this. What is like the concept? What drives you for this style of
Okay,
cuisine?
so the creative process, I spent a lot of time abroad, okay? And so what happens is that I spent a lot of time missing Filipino food. So what happens when you miss something is you start idealizing it in your head, okay? And a lot of times when you finally eat that idealized version, it generally isn't as good as it was in your head.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what I'm trying to replicate here when I do food is I'm trying to replicate the idealized versions in my head. It's a romanticization of the cuisine and from me longing for it. The next dish, fish. I mean, having fish and rice is symbolic. It's lapu-lapu,
Yeah, and Lapu-Lapu is he's the man.
He's the man.
He killed Magellan.
Exactly. He kicked ass. How do we pay our respects to such an important fish? And so this is where the thought of having it come into the restaurant live was important. We kill it ikajime in this.
And the process where you put the wire.
Exactly. So you basically we drive a knife through the braid and then we cut the tail and put a wire.
It prevents rigor mortis.
Exactly.
I love that. So this is your Lapu-Lapu.
Yeah. So this is our lapu-lapu. Obviously, it's obvious we're going to serve it with rice.
And buro is like usually served like as a condiment on the side.
Exactly. So here, a lot of our cuisine also we sort of add the sausawan we sort of incorporate it into the dish. Sausawan is considered an extremely personal thing. Kanin is national,
Yeah.
the ulam is regional, and then the sausawan is personal. It's you.
Personal.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
So everybody can do their own, except that us, because for obvious reasons, because it's a chef-driven restaurant and all that.
Yeah.
We're sort of doing it. We're sort of like, how about you try it our way? So
Okay, let's try this bad boy.
there's also a wink at Kapampangan culture as well, from the burro, the fish, and the mustasa. So let's go again. Go ahead.
Where? Smoky, sweet, salty. The burro sauce,
Yeah.
so savory. And then you want me to eat it with
Yeah, none of that.
okay. With the mustasa, it tastes so much more Filipino, and this brings it home.
Absolutely. The mustasa is key.
Such a distinct Filipino flavor, man. Great dish, man. This is
So then,
this is why you're chef of the year. Do you feel that Filipino food on your level, Filipino food on a fine dining level, is definitely a big, huge part of an attraction for people to come visit to the Philippines?
I think yes, in a way, definitely bring people, because there's such a thing as food tourism. Food tourism is a thing.
Sure.
I think it's something that we just haven't explored enough, and I think that any food on any level is worth should be part of the discourse for tourism, actually.
Here it is. It's so beautiful. And you call it flan?
Well, we call it the flan, but it's not really about the flan itself. It's really about all the components that sort of surround it. So you have a toasted red rice flan. Under that, we put sort of like a cocoa jam surprise. There's a roasted corn ice cream on top. The broth all around it is made out of saba and different banana varieties from the Philippines.
Okay.
And finally, an oil that's made out of tambis tea leaves.
Okay. And tabis is
Tambis is makopa. We get the leaves from the tree. We bruise it. We ferment it actually, and then we turn that into oil.
okay. So this is flan.
It's just refreshing, right?
This is a dessert party on a plate.
Yeah, exactly. It's multiple desserts that you just drop.
Yeah,
into.
it's just multiple desserts in one thing.
Absolutely.
This is so good. Feeling inspired after leaving a restaurant is my jam. That's what I love. I love the fact that you just can bend people's minds, but still keep it relatable. Chef, thank you so much. That was fun. So we went to Metiz and we went to Inatô. They both have restaurants in actual restaurants, which means all the business factors are a factor. And then our next place we're gonna go to is none of that plays a factor. It's literally no holds barred. He gets to cook whenever he wants, whenever he wants, how often, how much. This is like unadulterated, unfiltered Filipino fine dining. Crazy. Only in the Philippines. In this unexpected Bahay Kubo in Parañaque City, Don, a 25-year-old young chef, cooks in his backyard and serves people in a Bahay Kubo that his dad made when they were young. I know it doesn't sound like a restaurant, but it's one of the hardest reservations to get. Don't be fooled. This Kubo is a laboratory of flavor. We're thinking of showcasing like elevated Filipino food on like a fine dining scale. Your name has to be mentioned in that breath because you live, breathe this kind of food.
I mean, we just like to cook, to be honest.
Yeah, you like to cook. You're downplaying it like crazy. But there's so many, like there's various routes of food,
Yeah.
right? Like why this food?
Because when I was a kid, I really wanted to do whatever I want with food. I didn't want the boundaries of it. That's why when we started I started with 2 cooks. I've been to restaurants where you had to do the same thing every fucking day. I hated it. So I was like,
Right.
fuck this, I'm gonna make my own restaurant. It's not anymore about the money at the end of the day. Like, that's why I need to build other restaurants to support this restaurant.
So take me to your journey.
That's why our first course is always something very comforting. So
Okay.
underneath you have tocino, but we dry it. So essentially,
ribs that we dry in Muscovado. Then you have grains from our farm in Iloilo called Camoroso rice. We cook it in calamansi and cream, then it's finished off with a dressing of toyo, suka, and oil.
Okay, let's do it.
Go ahead, man. Please.
Dad. Oh,
This is good. Thank you, man.
yeah, this is so good. And it's also like, it shows a lot of your personality as a chef, because it's like,
It's straight up. So it's like we're starting off with breakfast.
oh,
essentially.
that's where the story
Yeah, that's why
started.
lugaw is the first one.
Yeah, okay.
So you have your long silog on the side. So traditional Filipino breakfast, you have a chip of rice, you have a cream of kalumpit longanisa. It's topped off with the crumble of the longanisa. Essentially, longanisa that we very slowly fried until it becomes like chips almost. I love queso puti. So we've been getting these from Norzagaray in Bulacan.
Ha! Longanisa in a small bite. It's perfect. Oh, man. Just off the bat, the queso puti is so good. People need to eat this.
Yep.
People need to eat this. The way Chef Don tells a story is very different from everyone else because it's personal. The whole restaurant is a manifestation of his personality. He champions locally sourced ingredients, immersing himself in the provinces to understand Filipino food at the grassroots. He will only believe that something is inedible after trying it, and this translates to whatever he serves on the table, like the sipo egg he learned from the caranderias of Pampanga. One of my favorite things about the dining experience at Linamnam is that you tell us where your food comes from. People don't know this, but you actually take your weekends and you go to different parts of this country and you look for the ingredients.
Yeah. So like one of the things we always say is like we want to highlight the unsung dishes and ingredients.
So when you set off to these like different provinces, do you have like a certain system of like how to find
I think
ingredients?
that's the thing about us. We don't have a system. It's more of just immersing yourself.
Okay.
One of my favorite things is like I literally go to the most popular carinderia. So I'd go to that place, I'd buy food, I'd talk to the guy selling it. Where do you eat pag Sunday with your family? Saan kayo pag may fiesta, anong sa kayo bibili?
Uh-huh.
From there, I'll follow. I'll ask if
Fine,
he knows
yeah.
the number. I'll go directly there. From her, I'll ask her, ikaw, saan ka kumakain?
Yeah.
It's just literally immersing yourself
Yeah.
in the journey of discovering. Well, essentially, it's just more of I want to know what's good out there.
Okay. So what's in this?
This one's essentially one of the fish courses that we do. It's an homage to John
no,
Quezon.
fish.
One of the guys that I've met there, his name's Malvin. He always cooked me fish. Whatever way he cooks it, he gives me a condiment. It's always ginataang kamatis. With fish, it's bucal. It's a sea bream from Quezon.
This is a really interesting dish because it tastes so Filipino.
It's more Filipino. That's why there's a sabaw on the menu. There's kanin on the menu. There's a lot of fish because we have a shitload of fish in the Philippines. Why not highlight it, right?
Very, very showcased in this dish for sure.
Thank you, man.
Well, Don, I appreciate you, man. This was, I mean, always an epic time. This is something that we can all be proud of, man. Like, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Congratulations on all the success.
So that one.
Many, many more to come. And yeah, dude, keep doing it. Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Yeah. We've done 3 restaurants, each offering a unique take on modern Filipino food. But at the same time, Inatô, Metiz, and Linamnam are very similar in the sense that they all highlight the rich complexity and depth of our cuisine. But that's not it. We still have our final stop, and I'm joined by my friend Erwan. We are in Cavite at Asador Alfonso, and chef Chele Gonzalez will walk us through his massive and striking new dining concept.
For me, again, it's a dream project. So the building is 4 floors. So the ground floor, where is the main restaurant, is an asador. There are 2 kinds of asador in Spain. The ones from the north of Spain, called parrilla, so it's an open grill. And then the more ancestral, that is the Castilian one, where you have the big oven, similar to a pizza oven. And when you go to a roasting house, some of them are more specialized in lamb, others more in cochinillo.
Okay.
Here, obviously, we're specialized in both.
Nice.
And then we bring this oven that have been a whole production because it's 4 tons.
From Spain, 4
From
tons.
Spain. It's the only of this kind in the whole Asia. It looks like a volcano.
Yeah.
And the idea is that, this is called lava rock project. I think it's under, the big vision of Carlo Calma and the Calma family. to do, architectural development that is unique in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be a lot of art related, a lot of artists related. I will bring you around. The building itself is an architectural art
Foreigners, yeah. This is super modern, and it's like all the top restaurants in the world, you find them in places like this.
Excited to try the food.
Yeah, me too. I'm too excited.
When you first see this architectural structure by Carlo Cama, more questions than answers pop in your head. How was this built? Why here? How did they do this? Once your mind quiets down, you realize what an amazing experience you're about to have. The food that will be served here will focus on some of the best ingredients in the world. All simply cooked, but with focus and intent. And if the building is a good indicator, I'm sure the meal won't disappoint.
So we got the pan y mantequilla. Now this is the jamon de wagyu, matrimonio, and the tosta de boquerón. Okay,
So exciting.
let's dig in.
I mean, this is like everything I love about Spanish food. Man, this is so cool. Like, you know what? Ambiance is everything too, because I feel like this is like even more special.
So there are not a lot of places that look like this in the Philippines, that's for sure.
We're an hour and a half outside of Metro Manila. If you're driving an hour and a half outside of Metro Manila,
You need it to kind of be special.
and it has to be like this, you know?
So I mean, one of the main reasons why I wanted to take you here is because I think when we talk about the Philippines being potentially a center, a culinary center, and a destination for food, you can't not talk about places like this or talk about the foreign chefs that are coming into the country.
Right.
And I think Chele best represents that. He took a bet on the country 13
Right.
years ago, and like in Gallery, really champions local produce, really pushes the research he does in Filipino food and Filipino
Yeah.
ingredients. Not necessarily cooking Filipino food, but you need kind of all these influences to come. You need people to be inspired by the country and
Yeah.
open these kinds of restaurants. And if you go to Bangkok, Taipei, Tokyo, Seoul, you don't just have local chefs. You have chefs from all over the world that call it home, right?
Right.
And it just kind of really contributes, I feel, to the overall dining scene.
Like, I really don't feel like I'm in the Philippines right now. I actually feel like I'm like in another like multiverse.
So one thing in Metro Manila we don't have is space in general. We don't have like green areas, green spaces. So when you have places like this, it's just,
Oh, dude.
it makes you realize how much more beautiful
I mean, this
the
is
country
like,
could be.
This is like trend setting.
Yeah. I mean, this is, kind of breaking the norm in terms of how things are done here.
Right.
I'm gonna try this wagyu. So homemade jamon made with wagyu.
Perfect temperature.
That's solid. Wow.
Yum.
These are tomatoes. The red prawn? Yeah.
Look at this.
I'm so excited for this. Wow. How do you think Filipino food kind of breaks out the borders and becomes a big thing internationally?
It has to become like a hit. And especially in the Philippines, we love supporting something cool and hot and new. So I think, once we hit that like 5-10 year threshold where this almost becomes like a destination for people to try, especially people outside of the Filipino culture, then it starts to become like, oh, I have to eat it. I have to try it. These are the growing pains that we all have to go through no matter what genre of food you go. It's gonna take time, and that's kind of why we're doing it now, because this is the beginning
It's
of
going to start moving fast.
Yes.
And I think what we've really seen over the last couple of years is people are owning the
Yeah.
identity and then pushing the boundaries of it and kind of redefining it, which I
Yeah.
think is really cool.
I'm excited to see what happens, man. And you know what? Like, if you stick to your guns, and this is to the chefs out there, keep going. Like, it's hard, but just keep going, because we have to get over that hump. And once we get over that hump, Michelin will be here, James Beard, like all the major accolades that doesn't necessarily give you the juice, but it definitely like tells people, hey, this is a place to go.
It's validation.
Yeah, it's a place to go, and it's 100% a place to go. Go for it. Oh my. Yeah, fire. Wow.